So everyone is gonna get wiped out. Well, that's usually what happens. During peak bear markets, we often see many new investors making knee-jerk reactions, selling at the very bottom, and even convincing themselves that the markets are a complete scam and they're never investing again. But by watching this video, we'll actually be going over some important reasons on how you can save yourself and be the exception within this brutal bear market. Now, most US stocks today are trading higher, with the NASDAQ 100 up 3%, the S&P 500 up 2%, and the Dow Jones up 1%. Now, unfortunately, the same cannot be said about crypto. So in today's episode, we'll be going over some key strategies in being able to get through this prolonged market downturn. We'll also review Bitcoin's monthly price action, and we'll also look at how some crypto whales are taking advantage of the bear market opportunities, and also go over some of the major bullish crypto headlines. Now, if you guys are enjoying these daily market updates, because I know my jungle fam out here, y'all have been crazy with the support like the usual. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Drop a like down below if you have been enjoying these updates. Subscribe if you, for some reason, still haven't done so already. And with that being said, let's hop into the computer and see what's going on in the market for today. All right, so normally on this channel, what we do is actually talk about the global crypto market cap. But just to give you guys an indicator, or if anyone is somehow new to this channel, this is an indicator where normally during a peak bull market, we would see the global crypto market cap riding from 2.5 to 2.7. And near its peak, we saw it breaking past $3 trillion. We are a long ways from $3 trillion. We are less than 50%, almost 60% of that right now, sitting at $1.23 trillion within the market, or down about 2.73% over the last day. Now, the crypto fear and greed index is a sentiment indicator, where today we're seeing a 12 on the sentiment, and this number has been consistent within the last few weeks. Now, to kick this video off, let's look at the charts with Bitcoin. First of all, Bitcoin has been staying above the $28,600 critical support level for about 2 weeks now, despite all the fear and doubt within the market. In today's market open, we will mention though, Bitcoin did have a nasty flash crash that brought the price level back down to $28,000 for a brief moment before finally breaking below that key support level, which is the orange level you see on your screen here. Now, since then, Bitcoin quickly rebounded off those levels. It's currently trading at $29,594 at the time of filming this video. And I will say it can get pretty daunting, a little overwhelming when we're looking at such a daily closed time frame. So if we're looking at the 1 hour or the 4 hours just every single time inside of a bear market, it gets overwhelming. I will say when we see fluctuations like this, although it's not good seeing a support level getting broken, we are still within that descending wedge right now where we are looking for a breakout either to the upside or the down. Now, looking at the monthly returns chart from Glassnodes, we can actually see how quickly these tiny drops do accumulate over time. So although this is about a 1% drop, Bitcoin has lost about 1% of its market value every single day over the last month, with a negative performance now of negative 30%. Now, in 1 month periods, Bitcoin has also lost 50% or more of its value several times. In the 2015 bear market, we saw this occur, the start and the end of the 2018 bear market, and then the 2020 COVID crash. This time around, it's been more of a descending wedge. We haven't been seeing those crazy days where Bitcoin is flashing down 5 to 10% and then not being able to recover. It's just 1% drops. It's important to note that we do see 50% drops with this altcoin, because according to this research, monthly periods with severe Bitcoin corrections are relatively infrequent, but they are also almost always associated with high volatility drawdown events, such as the beginning or the end of a bear market. Now, for me personally, I've actually stopped buying Bitcoin. I've sold off almost all of my Bitcoin since, when has it been, Jung Nation? Like February, March. The reason for that is because I believe there's still much higher upside with a lot of these other altcoins, and I've simplified my strategy over the past few months before the official bear market started to really happen with Ethereum. Now, I wanted to actually talk about Ethereum, where we're at, because this is one of the cryptocurrencies where, alongside Bitcoin, it's one of the two that I would classify as a true blue chip cryptocurrency. So Ethereum's monthly returns are similar to Bitcoin's, but slightly worse, with a negative performance of minus 34.9%. Now, the correlation between these two assets still remain strong, and Bitcoin is still tied in with the broader financial market. So we're seeing a lot of ties. Whenever one part of the market goes down, if it's the S&P S&P 500 or any other index, then Bitcoin goes down, altcoins go down, Ethereum goes down, and then we've also been seeing liquidity fall out of NFTs too. Now, on a day like this where we saw Ethereum take a major blow, where right now it's even down about 5.41% compared to Bitcoin, which is down 0.84%, when a majority of my assets are within Ethereum and I still have a lot of NFTs that I'm holding, it does definitely suck seeing the portfolio drop down below. Now, with that being said, there still is a lot of good news and there are a lot of key strategies that I want to cover very soon. Before we do that, I do want to mention that in the current market that we're in, following the November all-time high, we've actually been seeing a divergence favoring Bitcoin dominance. So the divergence is actually happening with Bitcoin and altcoins, meaning anytime we see Bitcoin moving up in its volume, we're seeing all the other altcoins losing that as well. So we got this pretty amazing graph coming from Glassnode stating the declining Bitcoin dominance divergence, which is that green arrow, is also typical of early mid-stage bull markets as investors start moving further out on the risk curve. But on the opposite, the rising Bitcoin dominance divergence, or that red arrow, is also typical of earlier stage bear markets where risk appetites decline and Bitcoin outperforms. Now, we only covered Bitcoin and Ethereum just now, but these monthly returns are pretty consistent among most crypto and stock market assets, like we mentioned frequently on this channel. Now, it seems like I got the point across. We're within a bear market. It seems like everyone's getting wiped out. Everyone is pretty much underwater. Anyone who's at least invested into crypto over the past year is seeing some type of red within their portfolio. But let's actually talk about how you can get through these market downturns. What are some strategies that you should keep in mind? So first of all, when the market drops, I know it can be tempting to jump out of all your assets, say, okay, if it's going to drop and it's going to drop even more, let me just sell off everything now, try to save the little money that I can, and then I'll just reinvest back into the market, say just, a year or a few months from now. One note that I like to mention on this channel is not being able to find all the gurus who can time the market consistently, but it is so optimal for any investor to just take a step back and realize time in the market is going to be far superior than trying to time the market every time. During times of peak major market volatility, it's often when people don't really know what's happening. Yes, although the sentiment is clear, we're in a bearish activity right now, we're in a bearish mood, when a lot of investors tend to think that it's going to go down even more. Sometimes that is even when the bottom settles in, and that's oftentimes when newer investors get caught in the trap of selling off their investments before just a few days or a few weeks later we saw it moving back to previous bull rallies. The clear thing to note is if you do sit on the sidelines, you're missing out on any type of action, even the one that you can get on the upside. The crypto fear and greed index, even other fear and greed indexes, are all showing we've been fearful for a while, and it's about time soon when we should begin to see a little bit of life returning back into the market. It's also times like this where instead of considering selling or reallocating your portfolio, that's what you want to be doing during a bullish market when you are up on your investment. In times like this, make sure that you revisit your goal and you know that your risk tolerance. Everyone has a different portfolio. This is why it's called personal finance. It's personal to you and I. If you're someone who's planning to retire within the next few years, you're going to have a different type of objective compared to me in my early 20s. I guess mid 20s now. I'm 25 now. So, compared to me at my age where my lifespan for investing into the market isn't just 2 to 3 years. I plan to make these investments to hold on for 10, 20, 30 years. Right now, crypto is still so sentiment based just because it is a risk on asset. This means it is still a much newer alternative to many other traditional financial products, including bonds, anything that is relatively a safer security. Crypto, by a lot of banks, is seen still to be a very risky and foreign asset. It's going to be times like this where we're seeing a lot of the innovation sectors, including tech stocks, going down. Crypto is naturally going to decline with it too. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to last forever, and I think the circumstances of this upcoming recession is much different from what we've experienced before in the past. So I do believe that if this cycle doesn't last as long as previous ones have been because it is built a little bit different, then there's an opportunity for us to see an increase or recovery back in the market, hopefully soon. Now, those are all things that are reminders to any newer investors, but I think right now, if I were to give any type of non-financial advice during the season. It's to make sure that you still follow your trading philosophy. If you haven't created that before, watch some of my older videos. We talk about the importance of creating a journal, using that, and instead of, journaling your thoughts, which is always very good too, mental health is very important, but also using journals for practical measure in being able to follow your mindset during trades. Journal how you feel during these times. Journal during the peak of the bull markets when you're up $10,000 on your investment, and journal when you're down below. You can look back at these different chapters in your life, and journaling is something I've been doing since 2018. I have a stack of them. I've been doing it for a while, and let me tell you, this is the easiest, most free tip that I can offer to any of my audience right here. And in picking up a habit like this, where it takes maybe 5-10 minutes of your time, you will see tremendous amount of benefits in being a wiser and more patient investor. With that being said, if your strategy since the beginning has been to dollar cost average continuously because you see the crypto markets continuing to expand long-term, stick by your strategy. If you find that it's really hard to do that, span it out. Try to make an estimate of how long you think this recession is going to last. There is a lot of data pointing towards a better Q4 relief rally. And if that does happen and you're able to spread it out, you don't have to be averaging into the market every single day. A lot of people run out of firepower doing that. But even every week, take it slow. Don't look at it, just average back in. And then when we start seeing that rally and that money starts going up, you'll know that you made the right decision then. Now, something that I've also been doing during this time is also taking a look at my portfolio, rebalancing it, and knowing what my objective is in the coming months. There are times where I sprint, I'm looking at micro caps and I'm being quick on those movements. And there are other times where I'm a bit more conservative. Like right now, a majority of my portfolio, I've been holding USD. I'm still putting cash on the sideline. And I think even holding cash, although right now it seems like everything's a lose-lose situation where holding cash results in a lot of people's money getting eaten up by inflation. But then when you invest it, the markets keep going down. It seems like not a lot of people know what to do. Sometimes just being patient and not doing anything leads to being some of the best moves that you can make in the market. Now, I will say, as involved as I am within the crypto space, I've been seeing a lot of opportunities still coming up. It doesn't mean there are no opportunities. There are actually going to be a mixed tailwind of them during these times. Finding strategic market opportunities in times of a downturn can prove to be some of the best decisions that you make when investing. When the markets are silent, look into ways that you can optimize your own financial portfolio. There are Roth IRAs that you can still look into. There's actually a crypto Roth IRA if you're planning to go long and save money on taxes that are available to you guys as well. And then even on top of that, we have other sectors where even some stocks are doing exactly the opposite of what the entire markets have been doing. This goes to say, without having to short or put any type of literal puts or options into the market, you can still find your ways of making money because not everything goes down within a bear market. There are going to be massive opportunities. You can still find yourself doing very well. It just takes time. It takes a little bit of research, but once you are on it, you can find yourself still doing well when it seems like everyone else is doing very, very poorly. Now, with all that being said, if you guys aren't bullish on the market, well, there are some giant hedge funds that have done some of the best in the history of investing that are putting not just, a couple $1 million here and there, they're putting billions. And when I say billions, there's actually one that has put $4.5 billion into a crypto fund. So Andreessen Horowitz, also known as A16Z, went ahead and raised $4.5 billion support into the cryptocurrency industry through its newest fund. If you didn't hear about this venture capitalist firm said that $1.5 billion of this is dedicated to seed investments and $3 billion will be used for future venture investments. This right now is the company's fourth crypto fund, and they will now have a total of $7.6 billion for blockchain-related entities. Now, since the venture capital firm launched over 10 years ago, A16Z has become one of the largest in the industry focused on crypto and blockchain companies. Now, just like I mentioned earlier, according to Ariana Simpson, a general partner at A16Z, she also mentioned right here that bear markets are often when the best opportunities come because people can focus on building technology rather than getting distracted by short-term price activity. I find that people within the sector that are building these metaverse games, these just insane crypto games where you're gonna be able to make money by playing and being engaging within a different community, they almost prefer to work at a bear market just because things are quiet. People aren't hyping things up. You don't have all these distractions. Engagements are lower. And although that may suck for retail investors, it sucks not seeing that community being lively. It does further. I believe it helps progress technology even more just because there's less distractions. All right, so with all that being said, let me tell you, timing the market has been really hard. And I know it is very, very difficult for a lot of newer investors. But what if I told you that there was a way that you could do it automatically 24 hours a day? So a few months back, I went ahead and made a video doing a full tutorial on Pionex. If you didn't know, Pionex is actually the first crypto trading bot company to get a license in the US. And what they do is they offer 11 built-in trading bots from grid trading bots that auto buy low and sell high to take profits off of the price fluctuations. On top of that, I've been talking a lot about dollar cost averaging. They even have a bot that allows you to do that, which will auto buy at regular intervals when the price drops and sells for a profit as the investment grows. Now, the nice thing about this type of service is that these bots use an algorithm to time the buys when the price is low so you can maximize your investment strategy while only paying 0.1% in fees. Now, if you want to start taking advantage of trading bots, or if you don't even know what a trading bot is, just because when I heard of it, I thought it was a scam. I was like, this just doesn't sound, it just freaked me out a little bit too. Just realize that tools like this is simply just that. A crypto trading bot is a tool for you to use. You can set up the parameters, and within a market, if you think it's going to go down even more, you can even set up parameters for you to continue buying it up, or even being able to do the opposite of shorting other positions. Now, it's one of those things where it's not going to automatically print you money. And I mentioned that in the tutorial, but to anyone who has been using Pionex, I've been getting such good feedback, and this is why I continue to work with them as well. If you guys want to check them out, the link for that will be down below in the description. And on top of that, you can also find me on Twitter and my Instagram if you haven't followed me there already. If you do follow me on any social media, please make sure you watch out for scammers and impersonators as well. And on top of that, I have an exclusive Discord group where you can get access to my buy and sell alerts, my technical analysis from some of our best advisors, as well as access to a community of other investors. If you guys want to join that, check out the Patreon link down below. Or on top of that, I also have a free link to check out the Discord. If you're newer to the market, if you're experienced in the market and you want to give it a shot, the links for that are down below. I will mention we have been sold out for the past few weeks. I do plan on opening spots up soon. If you guys want to get alerted for that, just join the free Discord link and I will make an announcement in there too. Clap, clap, clap. Today was a particularly special day because I did a full Millennial Money episode with CNBC and they finally posted it today. Wow. So I will say, like I mentioned this, within the Discord today for our community. And then I mentioned this, in the YouTube video for the comment section under that. But I was really hesitant on making that video with them. I actually initially told them I didn't want to do it. And then I brought myself to wanting to do it, but I told them, let's make this video off of one exception. And that was just being able to inspire anyone. So if you guys, have been struggling with finances your whole life, or you hate your job, or you don't know what you're going to do, take a look at that video. Hopefully my story and what I do was able to inspire you guys and give you a little bit of motivation that anything is possible in this life. For me, when that video was posted, it was a mix of excitement and anxiety, just because it's that term, that's been coming up by a lot of the Gen Zers. It's reading the room, or like, dude, read the room. Right now we're, on the brink of going into a financial recession. Anyone watching these videos, I myself included, are all down on our investments within the market just because everything's been getting wrecked. And then you have, this video talking about finances and me getting my glass water jug springs. I can see how it looks. So I just want to say, even knowing all that, my goal through all of that is if I could inspire or at least provide motivation to just one person, one little junkie out there, and they could do something similar. Maybe they start a YouTube channel and inspire and motivate and educate millions upon other millions of people. My goal right there is solved, but hopefully you guys are able to see that, see my family upbringing, and really understand the message that we're trying our best to give and convey through that video. Comment down below power if y'all made it to the end of this video. Thank you all so much again for watching, and until next time, I'll see y'all soon. Peace.